Hi everyone, my name is Emma Goldman and I was born on June 27, 1869 in Kansas, Lithuania. I am an anarchist, which is the editor of Mother Earth. People usually call me Red Emma, the queen of anarchists and this dangerous woman. I was the firstborn child after my mother had gotten married twice, and we were always moving back and forth because of my dad's jobs. My mother was someone who comforted me through hard times with my dad. My dad was someone who believed in beating their children as a way of, like us, obeying him. He taught my siblings and I very many lessons so that we would grow up to be very mature and responsible individuals. With that being said, my relationship with my half-sisters and brothers was very enjoyable because we were always there for each other through hard times with my family because my dad was really mean. When I was young, my family and I moved to Papil, where my father ran a hotel inn. While starting my life in Papil, I saw very many peasants being whipped with a knot in the street, which completely traumatized me and contributed to my ideas on violent authority. When I got to the age of 7, I started school in the German Empire where my teachers would beat our hands with rulers if we got in trouble for anything. One of my teachers tried molesting his female students and was fired when I fought back against him because I didn't believe in molesting females if we had done wrong. I found a passion in opera from my favorite German language teacher. I started many jobs to try and provide myself since I had quit going to school, but I still intended on independently pursuing education some way. When I turned 15, my father attempted to marry me off to someone he thought would be good for me, but I escaped and went to Rochester, New York with my elder sister. I started studying the garment industry and married Jacob Kirschner in a Jewish ceremony and finally becoming a U.S. citizen in 1887. The reason I had a Jewish ceremony is because I had come from a Jewish family and that was the only way that I could get married. Once I became older, I thought it was a great idea to find love in speaking my mind through racial standards and causes to the working class, as well as to respectful liberal audiences. I first heard the speeches of charismatic socialist Johann Most and found my inspiration within anarchism. I enjoyed the philosophy of the new social order unrestricted by man-made law. I demanded liberty of the mind from religion and liberty of the body from the dominion of property. I also believed that human beings would once be free from coercion and return to their natural bodies that would inherently good state and enter into life-giving relationships with others. I attended a protest that took place in Haymarket Square in Chicago, which several speakers and other individuals had gotten arrested from since there was a homemade bomb involved. Several received the death penalty and some were executed. I mostly believed that the law was entirely on the side of power instead of justice after this movement occurred. Most of my life in America was based off of giving lectures on the topics that interested me, as such as the promise of anarchism, the birth control that would free women to enjoy their bodies, and the classics of world literature that would intellectually nurture the working class. Ever since McKinley's assassination, they feared me as the representative of a violent element that seems to undermine the most basic values of the land. I do not believe in God, and I do not respect authority. I advocate free unions between men and women. I insist that women enjoy sex just like I do. I have many lovers, which does not happen simultaneously to others because it's obviously not very common that people would have more than one lover because you think that like you get married to one person and that's it. You're only supposed to get married once. But with me, I have had like very many lovers and I just think that's just a part of my life. And I demand that all workers have as much access to the culture of Europe as the wealthy do because I think that's very important. I rejected the idea that the poor and the immigrant and the ostracized should keep to the lower place assigned to them by an unjust society. Basically, I tread on all of Americans' corns.